So today what I'm going to be talking about is a recap of the student leader orientation that I did in person I guess it was a week ago or so. And hopefully you can all hear me right now. So um, I guess if you can, could you type in the chat window and just let me know that you can hear me and that you can see the Student Leadership Canvas page on your screen? I'll wait just a little bit so everybody can type in. Great. Thanks, Shannon and Natalie. Got Marie, Leah. Great. Perfect. So I'm just going to move forward since it looks like pretty much everybody has responded. And just to let you guys know, I have an event that ended up getting scheduled for Marie. I don't know if any of you know, but Marie Potter, who is our MLIS advisor, is leaving us. Tomorrow's her last day, and we are having a goodbye party for her actually right now. So that was scheduled a little bit afterwards. So unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit shorter than what I had originally planned, but honestly, it's going to be all the same information. So if I go a little quickly, please feel free to email me after the fact. I'll type in my email address for you. But if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. All right, so just to get started, everybody should see on their screen the iSchool Student Leadership Canvas page. And basically this is what I mostly talked about during that in-person orientation. And so this is going to be your go-to for any sort of information that you are curious about related to being a student leader. And so first and foremost, I want to showcase that on this page is the View the Leadership Life Cycle page. Hopefully it's a little slow, so if you don't see it pop up immediately, just wait a little bit, and so hopefully that'll start popping up for you guys right now. But what you'll see here is the leadership life cycle. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what the length is of your commitment as a student leader. And so it starts for most of you, it starts in February or March, and that is at the beginning of the election or when the election occurs. And once you get elected, then you should hopefully be doing your transition meetings between you and the new board, as the new board with the older board. And then what you'll also see, which has started, are spring breakout sessions. There was one on Monday, and there'll be two more in the following Mondays on special topics, and I'll get into that later. And then June is typically when you'll start planning for the fall. And also in June, you have a budget request. So basically anybody that's a treasurer that deals with the money will have a budget request and an expense report due in the beginning of June, just before graduation, so that you can request money for the following year. And then July, August, most people are on summer break. Yay, you won't be doing too much during that time frame, but you will be planning for the All iSchool Fair and iWelcome Week events. So if you're an online student, you're located in another state, sometimes you won't be as involved because you're not here. But if you are thinking about all the online students that might want to be involved with something, feel free to think about an event that can happen in the online space that can occur during the iWelcome Week. So I encourage everybody who is on a board to think about not only doing something in person, but also doing something online if you know that you want to be serving online students as well. And again, that's for the for the iWelcome Week, and then the All iSchool Fair for anybody who is a residential LIS student or just a residential student in any of the programs. That All iSchool Fair occurs during orientation and is where the clubs will start promoting their activities and trying to encourage membership from students that attend classes here. And so in October, I'll do a student leader fall kickoff meeting for everybody right at the beginning of the school year. I'll try to simulcast that. If I can't simulcast it, I'll record it for everybody who can't make it in person, and that'll just go over any more paperwork, things like that that need to be in the fall. And then you start your student programming and continue to do that throughout the remainder of the year until you do your elections, which can occur either in February or March of the following year. So that's kind of in a nutshell the student life cycle. And again, it's here on this website, which is Canvas. So where all of you go for classes, if you have an online class, it's here for you, and you should now have access to this system. So when you log in, it should just appear as any other class appears in your list of classes that you have access to. So now I'm going to go back. And basically, this is just a quick overview of Canvas. Like I said, this is everything you guys need to know as student leaders. And really, this is just kind of what I spent the most time on talking about in the student orientation a couple weeks ago. So anybody that's a treasurer, the most important information you're going to need is going to be found in the budgeting and funding section. I'm not going to go deep into this section, but what you'll see on your screen now is that list of all of the funding options that you have as an organization. And you'll see in this first question under funding facts, you'll see here that there is a budget request. If you are seeking iSchool funds, there's a budget request that will need to be handed in by each club by June 2nd. And all of that information can be found on these pages under the iSchool funds URL tab there. And I'll be doing a separate spring breakout session for anyone that's a treasurer that is interested in the full process of that. But like I said, I'm not going to go deep into that. And if you are curious, you can go just click on iSchool funds in the Canvas site and you can start getting all of that information. And so my other quick note for anybody that will be having access to a club bank account, make sure that you are doing that transition right now before school ends, because it can be very difficult to get access to those bank accounts after summer happens and people leave and you just can't have access to that. So please be sure to make sure that you are getting access to club bank accounts so that you have that for next year. All right, moving back to this main page. One thing also that the clubs need to do is make sure that you're registered as an RSO, which is a registered student organization. All of the information is on this page that you need with links to the student activities office. Typically that includes a meeting. So if you're an organization that does not have somebody physically here on campus, you'll need to find somebody that can be physically on campus to attend one of those meetings. So that they get all the information that they need about being an RSO. So if you're an organization that doesn't have somebody in here on campus in person, please contact me. I think there's like one out there that's still going to be looking for somebody on campus to be able to help them with that. So send me an email, let me know, and we can figure out what to do so that somebody can attend one of those meetings. And the attendance, they do a couple meetings offered this spring, and then they also offer meetings starting in October, so you don't have to get that meeting done right now. You can get it done in the fall as an alternative and a nice option if you are just not ready to make that step. And then there's like various kind of resources for you on this page that you can get. Some more information about working with external partners, some information about learning about leadership and professionalism. So if you're into leadership development, this is a great tab for you to click into. I'm not going to go into either one of those two tabs right now because it's just information, basically just something that you can read. For those of you that are curious about getting in contact with other student organizations collaborating, I just wanted to show you this spreadsheet that's here. It's a Google Sheet. It's on this tab. One thing to know is that the filters are in place here. So if you filter for one organization and you forget to unfilter it, then the filter will stay. So just want you to know. But this is all of the student organizations here at the iSchool, as well as all of their officer information and their email addresses. Because it can be difficult to get like just copy paste all of these email addresses, we do have the iOrgs listserv, which all of you have access to and can email out. And that's iorgs@uw.edu. If you haven't been receiving emails off of that listserv thus far, send me an email. Let me know. Like I said, my email address is in the chat feature here. And I will make sure that you get added to that listserv. I leave it unmoderated for anybody in the listserv, so you can use it to ask questions of fellow organizations. If you have questions about how to put on a certain event or things to think about, or just want to collaborate, you are more than welcome to use the iOrgs listserv. Or if you just want to be specific about clubs, you can go to this site and look up clubs. And if you're also curious about information about each organization, on this page at the top, you'll see find a description of each student group, and you can learn more about the other student groups if you aren't aware of who they are and what they do. Okay, moving back and through here, I would say that for most people that are residential and are planning in-person events, you are going to be using the Plan Event tab the most. And it breaks it down for you really nicely into plan it, schedule it, reserve a venue, assess your technology needs, catering, marketing, and wrap up. So your Plan It is basically resources for you to help you figure out how to even plan an event that you have in mind. Schedule It gives you information about the different calendars that are here at the iSchool, so where you can go to calendar the different events so that students know when to attend. And calendaring is great for both in-person and online events, so definitely make a note of that tab. If you're doing in-person events, we have information about venues all across campus, which is really nice. This is a tab that we use in student services as well to book rooms, and it has information about free rooms, information about rooms that might charge a little bit, and all of that information that you need as far as how big are the rooms, who to contact, what kind of technology that you'll need or what kind of technology they have. So you definitely utilize that reserve a venue tab. Assess technology needs can be really helpful for people if you're trying to figure out how to broadcast anything, if you want to do an online event or broadcast an in-person event to online. So that gives you information there. We've also provided you with catering options if you want to do catering for your event. Some ideas about how to market to students, and it's pretty typical. You can utilize the listservs that are for student groups, and you can, as a student leader, you can send one to any of the student programs. It doesn't have to be your own program. So if you'd like to contact anybody, if you're an MLA student and you want to contact somebody who's in informatics or the informatics group, you can still send to their listserv, which is called iMajors at uw.edu, and that information's here as well. Most people, what I see for marketing for events, typically do an email, and then they'll do postings on their group Facebook page, and then they'll do postings to cohort Facebook pages as well. So really, that's kind of the basics of that. And then finally, some wrap up helps you think about what you need to do to plan ahead for how to wrap up those types of events. But like I said, just a quick overview. The best way to get all of this information is to just read through the website, this site right here, and you'll be able to kind of find all that information. So that was my quick overview of everything that you have access to help you be successful as a student leader. Going through my notes, one thing I just always like to remind everybody about as in this orientation is that you have committed to be a student leader for the entirety of your kind of time in that office. So from now until February, March, some organizations do continue and they have their leaders continue on until June of the following year. So you have a little bit of overlap, but just remember that this is a commitment that you made. So keep in mind that you want to make sure that you're helping your fellow officers, that you're respectful of your fellow officers. And so one thing I do like to encourage you to do with your new board is to norm your group. Make an effort to meet with each other at least once or twice this year. Set up a time that you can go over the expectations that you have for each other, create your group norms, figure out, okay, how are we going to communicate with each other? What are we going to use? Are we going to develop a Google Drive? Are we going to just use some shared Google Docs, Google Sheets, figure out what you're doing so that you can ahead of time know how to keep in contact with each other over the summer so that the fall will be a lot easier for you guys to get back into the swing of things. And then a few other notes. So I'm going, like I said, I'm going pretty quickly through this. So I've got it. Recording is happening right now. So if you want to go back through everything I've been talking about, you can definitely rewatch the recording. I'll also leave some time for questions. So feel free to start asking questions in the chat feature if you want to just start doing that now. And then everything, basically, I really think that everything you need to know is in this Canvas site. So there's not much outside of that I think is particularly confusing, but if you are confused, like I said, I want to be here as a resource for you, so please feel free to email me with anything else that you'd like to know. But other tips and things going on for right now as you start as a leader, like I said, first and foremost, make sure that your club is registered as an RSO. If it's not registered, we can't award you money in the fall to do anything with that, so make sure it's registered there. If you have a treasurer, if you are a treasurer, you have somebody that would like to get money requested, again, as you'll see on this Canvas site, I have upcoming events, and then there is the date of June 2nd by 5 p.m. All of the budget paperwork is due to Wendy Phillips, who's the Director of Student Services, and her email address is here, but that information, again, is in the budgeting and funding section of this site and will also be delivered, I think, not May 1st, the following if the following Monday after that will be the budget spring session. And that will be simulcast. So if anybody isn't able to attend in person, you can watch it. And then I'll also post a link. But yeah, that'll be on May 8th that students can learn all about the budgeting process and how to submit all of that paperwork so that you can get money next year to put on events. Don't forget to log into Canvas. That's just a quick shout out to that. If you're not on the iOrgs email list, so if you haven't been getting information through iOrgs, send me an email so I can get you information there. And then we also have a Facebook group. I try to send an invite to everybody, but all I have are your UW emails. So if you don't have Facebook connected to your UW email, you might not have gotten that, but just take a look. And I think it's just iSchool iOrgs is what the group name is. And or you can just email me and I'll try to send you an email to give you directions on how to do that. But if you want to get involved with that Facebook group, it's just another communication venue for leaders to come together so that they can have access to each other for questions, collaboration, how to just support you if you guys get to a point where you're like, how does your club work with each other? Like, what are some norms that you have, or what are some ways that you guys are able to collaborate? So it's just a really nice venue for the student leaders to use to create some community. And that is, again, on Facebook for you. Okay, so now I'll get to questions. Looking here, do you know what dates iWelcome Week is happening for next fall and the Student Org Fair? Yes, we just started planning all of those. And so because of, I think it's Rosh Hashanah, there's some Jewish holidays that are occurring in September. So we have a bit of a break between the different orientations and when we're going to be having the fair. So it's going to be, I believe, the last week of September, one of those days. But I'll send out that information in an email for everybody so you can start planning and know like what dates those are. I have it in a different document that I can't get to at the moment, but like I said, I'll email that out for everybody so that you can start planning ahead for it. And also later this spring, you'll see a request for information to know if you want to have a table. So you have to tell me, yes, I want a table at the All iSchool Fair in the fall, and I will plan for that for your organization for the fall. But you have to tell me that this spring quarter. So that information will also go out via email. And as far as for the budgeting information, the question was, will it be available later for viewing? Yes, I'm going to record it and I'll be sending it out to everybody. So, and after the fact, whenever on demand you want to know that information, you can definitely view it. So while I will stream it simultaneously for those people that are available at the time, you don't have to attend. You can just wait for the recording to come out. And like I said, it's really important for people that are typically the treasurers. It can be helpful for the president to know as well. But if you're not really related to the money, I definitely think that you don't have to attend. So I just like to let people know that you can opt in to any of these sessions that we're holding or that I'm holding. So you just feel free to attend if it's related, and if it isn't related to you, it is a-okay that you don't attend that. And just a quick shout out again to what that looks like. So next Monday, the 1st, the next session is going to be on marketing and encouraging participation. And then following on May 8th will be the budgeting information training session. And those are 12:30 to about 1:30. And if you're on campus, they're in MGH 224. And if you're not on campus, it'll be actually using the same URL that we're using right now in Zoom. You can use this URL to access that simulcast. Are there any other questions I can answer right now? I know I just went through a lot of information super quickly for you, but I just wanted to get you exposure to the Canvas site so you can get started. And then if you don't have any questions, we'll just wrap up super quickly. So that way I can give you some more time back and you can enjoy the rest of your day. And like I said, feel free to keep asking questions through the chat feature. So I'm more than happy to answer right now. Oh, good question, Arnab. Yeah, so this video will probably be sent out via email on the iOrgs listserv, and then I'm pretty sure I'll put it on the Locate General Resources tab on Canvas. Yeah, and I'll let you know when it's there. Oh, yes. So another question that I just received is, if we can't make it to the RSS session this spring, does that conflict with getting funds in the fall versus going to the October session? And no, absolutely not. I just have a requirement that you attend one of those sessions to make sure you're in good standing, but I don't necessarily go through and check that until after the funding is awarded. So no need to do that this spring if it's not possible. Planning on it for the fall is a-okay. Anything else? Looks like we're good. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm so happy that you were able to attend, and I apologize again for having to truncate it due to the event. But what's nice for you is you get some extra time back that you maybe didn't know you would have. So please like I said, email me if you have any more questions. Take a look at the Canvas site. Don't forget the June 2nd date for the budget submission. And that's pretty much it. So have a wonderful rest of your day/week, and I will hopefully be seeing you all later. Thanks so much. I love the waving. Sorry, you can't see me wave, but I'm waving at you. Bye.